Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our May 2022 new moon, new energies, energy insight. Energy insight. I am so excited to be here. The messages that have been coming, and so are my guides. They're giving me the signs, and they wanted to pipe in and let me, they wanted me to tell you that they're excited to be here too. Um, the messages today really revolve, or for the month of May, even more than ever before, revolve around compassion. Compassion. So that's why I've titled this episode or this energy insight. Compassion is needed more than ever before. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that are new to my channel or new to any of my videos or messages, my name is Jackie Ellis. I'm an intuitive guide and mentor and Reiki master. My friends call me an energetics master. And I help people decode the energy that they're using, the energy within them, so that they can actually transform their life into one that they love. It's amazing work. It's an amazing, I get amazing insights, like fabulous insights for people all the time. Barriers that they have been fighting to try and remove but didn't know where it was coming from. A lot of times that's coming from like a past life thing or a generational energy that wasn't obvious. They didn't know, they don't remember, or they they don't know what that person experienced way back when, like, like 1,000 years ago. Yes, that stuff is born in with, for us. We inherit that unknowingly if the person didn't heal from it in some way when they lived through it. So it's a wild ride for us sometimes. Sometimes we got a lot of baggage to work through, and we don't even know what we're working through. Oh my goodness. Okay, coffee's necessary. Okay. Um how we're going to do this one. I got a message from Archangel Metatron that he wants to share a brief message before we get started today with the other messages that I got from the rest of my guides. So the way I'm going to be doing this is how I've been doing it for the weekly energy insights. So for those of you that don't know, Archangel Metatron was Enoch in the Bible. When he got his wings, he got a new name. Amanda Ellis, shout out to her. Her oracle cards are absolutely beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous, and the messages are bang on with I find them aligned all the time with, the work that I do closely with Archangel Metatron, and the gifts that I use that he gave me. Very much aligned with these cards. So I am just going to ask Archangel Metatron what he would like to share for the month of May. What's the one message that he would like to? I know he's going to be chiming in every week. Yes, you are. What would you like to say for the month of May, though? Birthing the new. Birthing the new. Evolution. Evolution. Oh my goodness. This aligns, of course it aligns very closely with some of the messages that have been coming through. So, birthing the new. Birthing the new. birthing the new. What am I seeing in here? I'm seeing a loving energy that's embracing the child. I'm seeing the feminine and masculine signs that are intertwined with the umbilical cord. So it's feeding God's children. So the feminine and masculine energies are feeding God's children. He's like, yes! I'm like, okay then, let's go with that. Oh my gosh. He makes me laugh. Okay, so what this means is that, yeah, it's definitely the birthing the new. So there are lots of people on a global scale that are going through a radical rebirth. So they're going through a radical spiritual change, a spiritual awakening in some form. It also might be a transformation within their own mindset. So leveling up, unearthing old stuff, old beliefs, and like releasing it so that it can open your mind to like newer opportunities, newer levels of transformation. It's also changing people's physical reality so they're not living the life necessarily that they used to live. It's more aligned with who they want to be, who they feel they're being called to be, the life that they're being called to step into. And when that happens, it's so freeing and exciting. Oh my goodness. I got a message. I'm going to pause this for a little bit. I got a message from someone today, this morning, that I hadn't talked to since really July of 2020. Former client, and he touched base with me and he sent me the loveliest message, and told me all the good things that were happening in his life and how he really transformed his life into one that he loves and is loving right now. And he said that the work that we did in the short time that we worked together, I think it was like less than 2 months, was really pivotal in his transformation, in his life transformation. And oh my gosh, when I get messages, that's not about me. It's about, because he put the work in. He put the work in. I got the messages for him, and he did the work that he needed to do to transform his life. And it is amazing to see and hear those transformative results for him. And it truly is a blessing. It truly is a blessing. And I'm like, if you're watching this right now, I am so freaking proud of you. So freaking happy for you. Well done. Well done, sir. Okay, so back to this. So birthing the new. So there are many people around the world globally that are birthing the new. They're doing exactly what my former client just had spent 2 years doing. A lot of people have been doing that for the last 2 years, but it's really coming into an important shift is what I'm getting. The work that people have been doing on a global scale, for their personal growth and development, for their personal expansion and growth, has gotten to a pivotal point for their own journey and is impacting the world on a global scale. It's a massive awakening that is allowing everyone's gifts to flow in various different ways, various exciting ways. And it's truly shifting the entire world. The world is becoming very high vibrational, and the light that people are emitting, the light that people are using, the light that people are sharing with others is purer than it's ever been before. It is the purest it's ever been so far. Yeah, the divine masculine, the divine feminine energies are really helping us as we move forward. And they're helping us from a global standpoint as well as a personal development standpoint. The divine masculine and divine feminine energies are working together with us. And they're supporting us and giving us more balance than we've ever had before. Our growth and expansion is more stable than it ever has been before. For those of us that have it's coming through. For those of us that have chosen to face, because what I'm getting is a picture of someone sitting straight forward. So they're facing their struggles, they're facing their own personal perceptions, the old perceptions that they used to have. They're facing them head on. And then what they do is they're looking for different ways of seeing things so that they can learn from this experience in a different way than they did before. So they're acknowledging the old ways that they used to do things, but they're also looking at things from a different perspective. And it's actually moving them into a rebirth, a transformation. So the old dies away. The old is released. And the new is birthed. That's what I'm getting. Yes. It's really a stage of enlightenment, and a higher consciousness is here. He's saying evolution is happening at a hurtling speed, but you are supported and you are guided through your death and rebirth cycle. And I don't mean that necessarily in a physical death. I mean that in a spiritual way. A very much a spiritual, mental, and physical, as in our realities, our physical realities. We go through a natural cycle in all of those ways, and it requires us to release the old so that we can allow the transformation to come in and rebirth in some way. And when we do that, we are expanding and growing in our natural cycle of growth and expansion. People are doing this more and more. People are accepting the journey. They're accepting the call to step into the next part of their journey, and are just tired of fighting, tired of fighting with themselves, tired of resisting the old ways that they used to do things, and they're just letting them go. They're letting them go because they're feeling the pull to let them go. And it's not always easy, but they are doing what they need to do in order to step into what is waiting for them in magical ways. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Metatron. Okay, so the next part. How I do this is I get an overall message for the month, and then I get a message for each of the 6 pillars. Now, the 6 pillars that are that were given to me, 6 pillars of our life, 6 life pillars are career, relationships, health, wealth, personal development, and spirituality. Career, relationships, health, wealth, personal development, and spirituality. And so I get a message for each of those as well as an overall message for the entire month. So I'm going to talk about the overall message right now, and then I'll go into the 6 pillars. If anything resonates with you, please drop a comment below. If you'd like to share this video to someone that you know or on social media, please share the love by doing that. You never know who will be impacted in a positive way by these messages. And of course, do like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Okay. Oh, and a special note. So if you would like to join us, Soul Talk members, for our Soul Circle session on Saturday, April 30th, we are going to be discussing what resonated with us the most from the messages in this video. The Soul Circle sessions you can purchase your seat. It's very minimal cost. On my website under booking appointment group sessions. And it is a way for us to connect as a group and really explore what resonated with us the most about the messages that we're receiving from the divine about the month of May. And kind of allow us to step into that, like work through it before we really get into the month of May, and be able to step into the month with knowing how we are going, with the tools that we need to really be in our power, to really use the divine energies, and really step into our transformations that we're being asked to step into. Okay, without further ado, I'm super excited. If you want to join us on Saturday, April 30th, please do. You can book that on my website, going to Work With Me, book appointment. It's under group sessions. We'd love to have you join us. It is Saturday, 12 noon on Eastern Standard Time. 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Okay, messages. I'm being told. Messages. Okay. Okay, so the overall messages for the month of May 2020. While you have ignited catalysts to help you manifest new beginnings, the world is going through a massive awakening moment or a series of moments. So even though you have individually said, I want my life, I want my life to be this way. This is how I want to step into my life. This is how I want to be in my life. This is how I want to feel in my life. And those things, God's going, okay, in order to do that, these are the things that you need to work through in order to like prepare you so that they can come. As you are doing that personally, the entire world on a massive scale is also doing those things, and it's creating a massive awakening in moments as well as series of moments. When this happens, things in the world don't stay the same. Information doesn't stay the same. Information that was hidden from us is revealed. Truths may be revealed in new ways for many across the globe. And it may leave people questioning decisions that they've made because they weren't given all of the information. And they are left sorting through feelings of hurt, trauma, betrayal, unnecessary loss is what I'm being told. Now is the time more than ever to have compassion for others and also for yourself as you work through those emotions. Reach out to those that come to mind and create space for them as they may need an ear or a shoulder this month. You're also being asked to make sure you check your boundaries. And don't solve other people's problems for them, but support them in healthier ways. Honor yourself and them by opting for self-care so you can be fully supportive without draining your energies and stretching yourself too thin. It is as simple as when you're sitting with someone and you are finding yourself tired or finding yourself struggling staying in that conversation in a positive way. Honoring yourself and the other person is as simple as asking that person if you can pick this up at a different time. Let them know that you need to leave and work some things through yourself, or maybe just say I'm tired and I'm not gonna be of any help to you right now when I'm tired. And when you do that in a compassionate way, it's not letting those people down. You're not shutting them down. But what you're doing is you are honoring yourself and them in that moment. But when you ignore those signs and choose to be there instead, it's like you're pushing aside your own boundaries and opening yourself up to feel and experience everything that they are projecting towards you. And you're left working through their energies when it isn't necessary. Okay, let's talk about careers. careers was the first pillar. Careers. What I was told was careers and career pathways are changing and shifting. Old ways have the potential to be cleansed with nurturing creative energies. In other words, the way we used to do things before may be changing so that they're more aligned with how God wants us to be, how God wants us to live in the next phase of Earth's journey. As we embrace this path, things may feel uncomfortable though, as we are being asked to stretch beyond old ways of doing things, old ways of thinking that things need to be. With an open mind, explore the new ways that you're being shown and practice them as you learn to master the new gifts as they come through to you. Yes, many of us that have gotten to that level of working through everything are receiving gifts that have never been received on earth before. They are exciting, they are powerful, and they are unique and never been used before on earth. The world is awakening new gifts and igniting new powerful gifts that are aligned with the divine. They're aligned with the way God wants us to live our life here on earth in the next phase. Will you step into your power and boldly follow the path being asked of you? Will you step into your power and boldly follow the path being asked of you? Relationships. Okay. So, the whole compassion thing. So there was compassion needed in career because you need a whole lot of compassion for yourself to really stretch that far and allow yourself to step into that next part, that next pathway for yourself. Okay? Relationships. Compassion is needed as well here too. The changes that are happening in our lives are to help bring grounding support and an improved quality of life. They may not look that way. They may look pretty scary. They look like pretty chaotic. But I've also been shown that when we have an abundance of compassion for ourselves and others, we can work through what we need to work through. And it strengthens not only our relationships with ourselves and with God, but it also strengthens our relationships with other people. An abundance of compassion for ourselves and others is needed more than ever this month. Conflict and mistrust may show up in relationships. Okay? And I'm talking about your own relationship with yourself. You may be showing that you really aren't trusting yourself. You may be showing that you're really not trusting God. You may think you are, but are you really? A lot of times it's not a pure trust. It's not a pure trust because the energies that are stuck, that are generally generational or past life energies, need to be healed before you can fully embrace and trust yourself and others and God. Know that whatever happens this month, It is a potential moment for a spiritual transformation and an awakening on a global scale. It's like a hair. Okay. That was an important sentence before I got distracted by the one hair that was in my vision. Through all the chaos, through all the conflict, through all the triggers that might happen this month, through all your growth opportunities that happen this month, know that they are all potential moments for spiritual transformations and awakenings on a global scale. So it's your individual work, your individual growth and expansion is helping the spiritual transformation and awakening on a global scale. So I often say that if we be the change that we need, we can be the change the world needs. And that's exactly the relationship that happens. So when we focus on what we need for transformation and expansion and growth, we also help the world in a different way, in a positive way. Because we aren't projecting our stuff on everyone else. They don't have to work through or feel they have to work through our own stuff. And same goes with other people. And it becomes a positive wave, positive ripple effect globally. The divine wants us to have compassion. They want us to acknowledge our emotions. And they want us to release what we are being shown to release. Really tune in to what's an ish me versus an ish you. Work through your ish me's. And don't just assume that if the person is triggered that it is an ish me, and don't just assume that it isn't an ish me. Really sit with it. And own what's yours and own what's theirs. Or let them own what's theirs. Take responsibility for your part in it. Work through your part. And then allow them the space that they need to work through their part. Compassion. Acknowledging your emotions and releasing what you need to release. Woo-hoo. Okay. Health. Health is our physical health, our mental health, and our emotional health. There's usually 4. There's usually physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. But I've peeled away spiritual well-being into its own pillar. So health, in this case, is our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. The messages for health were, as you are shifting and igniting new opportunities for your health, know the quality of life you desire and how improving your health physically, mentally, and emotionally will help support these endeavors. So what does that mean? It means that if we have a clear picture as to how we want our life to feel like, how we want to step into the life that we want to love, how we want to step into this life that we are creating. If we know that and have a clear picture of that, then we can actually use that to motivate us into the word's not motivating. we are actually using that clear picture to shift old habits into healthier habits and create and ignite new opportunities for us that we can't even imagine. That we can't even imagine. What we're being asked to do is hold on to that vision and allow ourselves to step into new, healthier ways. Learn to improve along the way and master the tools that we are choosing to use for ourselves. Boldly go towards the future you are envisioning by focusing on the health goals that matter to you. And I'm not talking about health goals that everyone else thinks you need to have. No. I'm talking about the health goals that you are being guided to do. I'm talking about not the old masculine way of doing things, but being guided, divinely guided to live life in flow and take care of your health in ways that you've never done before. Wealth. A lot of people think wealth is just your financial well-being. It's not. Your wealth for your pillar of life is your quality of life. It includes financial, but it's your quality of life. It's like how you see abundance in your life, the happiness you feel, the joy that you allow in, the grounding support that you feel as you step in to this pathway that's chosen and abundantly available for you. The divine is helping us improve our personal quality of life, but often this reveals a mistrust in ourselves and or others. These moments are opportunities to expand and grow, opportunities to change how we see our reality. Are we trusting the guidance we are given by the divine, or are we choosing to do things our own way? I'm like, I'm kidding. Well, you get a message to do something. Well, you need to, spend a moment, reflect on this. Well, that doesn't make sense. I got stuff to do. I got people to see. I gotta go. So you go. And God's going, really? I just told you. And you didn't trust me. You did something else. I love you, my child, but really, you're stretching my patience, honey. And I'm saying this in love and compassion because I have been there. I've been there. And I sometimes get there again. Are we going to rest and receive and then act in divine timing? Or are we going to ignore the direction and find ourselves struggling or hurting even more? The masculine way of thinking is like very much, or the society masculine way of thinking that we have been growing up with is got to hustle, 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 hustle. The divine masculine actually says, you know what, my child, you need to rest. You need to sit with this to make sure it aligns with you Ask your questions that you need to ask, and then when the timing is right, I will tell you to go. I will tell you to do it. I will tell you what to say it, when to do things, when to, and to trust in that. But when we don't do that, we struggle. We struggle longer, we hurt more, we create more energy in our body that is physically painful, and tension and inflammation, and we bring lack in our life that isn't necessary. Grounding support is here when you listen with accuracy and trust the messages that are given to you. Keep going and release what is keeping you stuck, keeping you from truly trusting the divine messages that you have been receiving. Keep going and release the old. Have enough compassion for yourself to release those old ways of doing things. And trust the messages that you're given. Have enough compassion for others, because the longer it takes you to actually step into your purpose and receive your gifts, there are people out in the world suffering unknowingly and unnecessarily because they need you. Which brings me to personal development. There is a wealth of information available for us if we are willing to tap into our intuition and steadily move forward, releasing old ways and overcoming the resistance we have held on to. So if we release old ways of thinking, old beliefs that things have to be done a certain way and can only be seen a certain way, and we overcome that resistance of not being open-minded enough to see it a different way, a wealth of information flows in. When we release the old, we allow what is required for us to see, the knowledge that we need to flow in to us. When we do this, new creative energies that ignite a childlike curiosity help us enjoy life in new ways. So our personal development is not I got to take a course, I need to read a book, I need to like do this, do that, do whatever. The old ways of thinking. No. What it ends up doing is we get like curious, like a child. When we release the old, our inner child gets curious again about what's possible. And we start to enjoy life in fun ways. And it ignites a creative energy within us that is powerful. And we just are able to freely explore and see where it goes. See what's possible for us. See what's possible for us to be able to help others. Spirituality. It's the last one. It's the last one. So what I'm being told for spirituality, so our spiritual well-being, our spiritual transformation, our spiritual journey, which is, for me, is not necessarily from a religious standpoint. I have a very deep relationship with God, with Adonai, but that was developed through my own personal growth and expansion. That was developed by really getting to know my inner self, my higher self, in a way that is sacred. So the spiritual pillar this month is the messages around that is release the burdens weighing you down. Allow yourself to heal and step into a spiritual transformation. Get curious about the resistance you feel. Get curious about what is needed to let it go. And then get curious about what could be waiting for you if you do. Is what you are holding on to worth holding back the gifts that God wants to give you? Is what you are holding on to worth holding back the gifts that God wants to give you? I don't know about you, but every time I ask myself that question, there is nothing an old habit is worthy of keeping if there are gifts waiting for me that far exceed my expectations. Thank you all for joining me on this episode. And thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, be simply you. Until next time, sending you much love, and I hope to see you on Saturday, April 30th for our Soul Circle session. Until next time, bye. Love you.